Tell you, really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff, boy, so yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Hey, good morning. Hey, it's cold outside. Not really.
Baby, it's cold outside. Hey, look, we're just going to get banned now.
Yeah, stop.
Are you trying to trigger everybody?
No, really. Let's
Trigger
send that
alert.
WAP
Trigger
instead.
alert.
Stop. We're not supposed to sing. We're not supposed to do anything.
We are here to give you news about technology.
Yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
so this morning,
We love
it's
it.
kind of funny you're doing that. This morning I was watching Fox, right? 13, the local news.
Oh, okay.
It's just because I kind of know some of those people. And they were giving this, something happened overseas. Oh, it was the whole earthquake. And so they had the one of the head people, they were talking, and you know how they typically there's someone does translations? They have gone to a generic IO or AI translator.
Nice.
Because it was talking like this, and it really had no inflection other than it paused every now and then, and I am a robot.
Nice.
Yep. I'm like
Take it
going,
right out of there, and then suddenly it's giving you the recipe
about
for
that?
knishes.
You could.
You know, I mean,
Right?
it's like it just went off on the wrong. I mean, think about it of how well the AI works when you're talking into it, and the sentences using words you sometimes get. And so let's go ahead and think about now how we're listening to some, speaker from overseas. There's actually stories that in World War II, the reason the atomic bombs were dropped on Japan was because of a mistranslation. We had demanded their surrender, and the Japanese word for no is the same as wait. It's based on inflection. And they were actually asking us to just wait so they could break it to the people that that's what they were going to do.
oh, wow.
And the guy translated it as no, and so they dropped the bombs.
What? I want to see that.
I want to see that too.
I want to
I heard
see
that back
that.
in college.
That's crazy.
Okay, now I read that on stone tablets and
Right.
bearskins. Okay,
Yeah.
but
Back in the day before the wheel.
Back in the day before the what?
The wheel.
The wheel. I thought you said the Wii. I'm like, oh yeah, long before the Wii.
The wheel. The wheel.
The Wii U.
The wheel. The wheel.
No, the wheel.
Oh,
we
the
actually have evidence of the wheel going. Never mind. I happen.
We
to
have
know that.
evidence of the wheel
I've been
being a
in the
square.
tomb that has the evidence in it in Egypt. Okay, it's actually there. There's a picture of almost like a battle siege engine or something, a ladder with a wheel at the with wheels at the bottom, and so it's like one of the oldest depictions of the actual wheel.
I thought you were about
in
to say a
use.
model.
Well, they had wheels in Egypt.
They had a model of
You'd
a
be smart,
Model
they have
T
rollers.
Ford.
Rollers and wheels are not the same thing.
Oh, they had
Actual
chariots with
that
wheels.
was much later. That was much later.
Oh,
okay, yeah,
okay.
that's what's really cool. So,
Technology at its
by
finest,
the way,
folks.
yeah, I mean, tech shamans.
Tech
we're
shamans,
kinda
we're
like
all-
going like old tech.
So what'd you do this weekend?
Really old tech. I
Old
did.
tech.
I know I do this every week just because, did you go techie or did you go non-techie?
I went. I don't know. Does replacing all the plumbing in the bathroom sink count as tech?
Yes.
It does.
There you go. Yeah, I did.
It's indoor
plumbing
plumbing.
tech this
You got
weekend.
indoor plumbing.
I didn't say it was indoors.
Oh, okay.
I said bathroom. Why does that mean indoors? I don't know. Where did you grow up? Up in Vermont. It's just brutal in the winter.
Mississippi. Mississippi in Georgia.
Yeah.
We had outhouses.
Yeah. So you went camping this weekend?
Yeah, we went
Well,
camping.
glamping, really.
Glamping, yeah, it
Yeah.
was really what it was.
Adam?
Yes.
There's a flow here, okay? Sorry to wake you up there, buddy.
I'm out of the flow. No, I worked on my boat this weekend.
You have a
Really?
boat? That's technology.
I've never been invited to the boat. Have you been invited
No,
to
I've
the boat
never been
ride?
invited to his boat.
What's up with
Well,
that?
I was running a chemical through the cooling system to clean it out.
His boat has a cooling system.
Wow, he has a fancy boat.
My bathroom isn't even indoors, and his boat's got a cooling system.
Cooling
I don't have a bathroom on the boat, so there you go.
It's a cooling system. They got AC on the water.
AC, no.
No, actually, believe it or not, for glamping, I wind up having to be more technical
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to make. Look, I like my news. It's how I stay.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get. And we got an Apple TV to go in there, so I can, because that gives me my Fox Now, and it gives me my Fox 13, and I can watch that, and my ABC app. So, but I'm having to try to figure out why my iPad won't get it, and their local internet sucks. And Adam did his best to try to figure out how to make a thing work, and we couldn't make it work. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just use the iPad. And if I moved it 1 inch, I lost a bar. I moved it back an inch, I gained a bar back. And I'm like, it's such a crazy
cellular technology.
Well, the thing is,
and my wind guard, the wind guard that's supposed to amplify everything, is not amplifying anything.
Are you using what is it, AirPlay from your?
It's got to be on the same
iPad?
network.
Well, to have your
No, I'm using it as a hotspot.
your Apple TV.
Yeah.
As a hotspot.
Okay,
Yeah, you
you're
have to use a
using that as the
hotspot.
hotspot.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because I will often AirPlay to our projector. Okay, which we have the Apple TV hooked up to, but I will often just connect off something like.
So it's kind
rather
of
than
weird.
go through all that hullabaloo.
I am the video tech guy. I am the tech shaman that does that, and I have never had such a harder time. I have 3 Sony TVs that have the Bravia system in it. You're supposed to be able to connect.
Okay.
It will not connect.
What is a TV?
I know.
Time vacuum. That's right.
Time vacuum. Yeah.
Yes,
So because
yes.
normally I could just go from my iPhone and go up,
Yeah.
right, without being on Wi-Fi, but it's not working right.
Well,
They won't
no,
talk
I think
right.
you got to be on Wi-Fi.
No, there are some.
I know
that
I do.
Okay.
Okay, and
There are
with
some
our
that
network.
do not.
Yeah.
And then of course I've got the little dongles, from HDMI,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm in a tech vacuum in there. Just nothing works. Which is, you know what, the lady at
You're supposed to be camping.
The lady at when we check in, I'm like, we'll always go, well, what's the Wi-Fi, or is there a cable connection? And she goes, no cable connection. You're camping. You don't need TV.
That's
Good.
And then I'll say, well, what about the
We
internet?
don't need her moral judgment.
She goes, no, you don't need internet. You're camping. I'm like, okay. And you know what? She's right. The less I worried about it. I was able to get enough signal to watch my morning news. I just want to know what the weather
I love the
forecast
fact
is.
that when we go up to vacation in North Carolina, we're up in the mountains. It's like you can just forget about this even receiving a signal.
It doesn't do anything
all day, and it's so wild when you come back down out of the mountains. It's like
Where were you?
yeah, it's like 312 missed emails.
Why didn't you answer me? Because I was.
But it's amazing when you do unplug.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap. I mean,
feel better, actually.
I have trouble going from, it's like, oh my God, I left it in the other room.
Yeah.
Before I got the AirPods, I used to have, one of the around the collar Bluetooth things.
That's what I have.
And I loved it because if I ever left my phone anywhere, it would vibrate. And so, it'd say, oh, you're too far from your phone, we lost signal. Which I really thought of it as my phone has now got a shock collar on me. Okay, it's like, I'm too far away from my phone.
Why did you set me down? What's wrong with you?
And when I went to the AirPods, I really missed it
Right.
because I'm like,
And they
now,
don't.
crap,
They
I'll
don't.
leave
They
my
don't.
phone
They
somewhere
don't.
and not realize.
They don't go.
No, nothing.
Oh, really?
Nothing. They're just silent.
Okay,
Yeah.
so someone should, and it's not me coming up with this. Someone else came up with this. I was on a television show, but I don't think it exists. You should be able to, right, call your phone
Yeah.
from another, and then put in when it answers and goes to voicemail, put in a code that will override silent, do not disturb, and go bling, 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 bling.
That's a great idea. It's called.
Well, if you don't have an Apple
If you don't
Watch,
have an Apple Watch, what's wrong with you?
because I almost lost my
whatever.
hand.
But that's what I was doing on Sunday when Apple had its big outage.
Yeah.
And my phone and watch
Love
would
how
not
you just
speak to
rolled
each
that
other.
right in there,
That's
didn't
right.
Yeah, you see what I did there?
You did.
And it was weird, and so I'm just going to blame it on that, on the outage.
Yeah, because the iCloud outage takes down backups and photos for some users. I got them back, but I lost my photos.
Yeah.
Because we were sitting with, we were, amongst other campers, glampers, And this young couple came over, and we all started talking about it. And I was going to show them some pictures, and I went to show pictures. I'm like, well, all my pictures are gone.
Yeah, I would love that. I got like 20,000 pictures on my
I'm like,
on my phone.
what happened? Well, now we know what happened.
Yeah.
I did get them back. Some people didn't get them back at all.
Yeah. Well, they're lucky. Hopefully, some of that was, incriminating evidence, that won't be used against them now.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
You
like,
know, I mean, if they can make it disappear. Oh, that's what it was. They were going after the laptop.
Laptop.
Yeah,
Biden
laptop from hell.
Junior.
Yeah. You know what? You just explained it. That's what happened.
Was it an Apple laptop or was it a PC?
No, it was an Apple. Yeah, it was a MacBook Pro.
They had to bring the services down.
Exactly.
Just temporarily.
So they could go in there and surgically remove all that data.
Right.
Okay, so it can no longer be verified again as being real.
And they're saying that some of the stuff actually some of your stuff on your phones was just inaccessible. It wouldn't work, and that does make sense. You know what? That makes a lot of sense because on Sunday, before we left, I was trying to check the news because it got overcast. I'm like, where'd this come from?
I know. Where'd that come from? What's with the rain?
So I was trying to look at the weather and stuff, and then I was trying to go to different apps, and they wouldn't work at all. They would pop up, and then they would just shut down.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had that happen with Facebook. I was trying to scroll down the page, and every time I got like third scroll, turn off. Third scroll, turn off. Third scroll, turn off. Like 5 times.
They knew you were
in a
looking
row.
for Biden Jr.'s laptop information.
Did you hear about that company that is suing Apple for copyright infringement with their VPN service?
What?
So
What?
basically, Apple's FaceTime and a few of its technologies incorporate an instant VPN.
Okay.
And supposedly, there's another company out there that for decades has been suing Apple over this. And
Okay.
supposedly, they
Decades would be a little weird, but go ahead.
Well, I guess
At least a decade.
At least a decade.
Yeah.
But needless to say, what they've done is, I guess now they're saying, well, we only owe them this much. Now they're fighting over the money part.
Right.
So I guess there is something there that
That should make
belong
them go
to
away too. I mean, what's it cost to
Buy 'em.
$590 million, I think, is what I ended up reading.
Buy
on
them.
it.
They're just going to buy them.
Just buy the company.
Just
buy it? Yeah.
Hostile takeover.
Maybe something there was happening.
There you go.
Because-
Who knows?
Bad. And that's not. That's pretty good theory.
Yeah.
That's pretty good theory.
Maybe they were trying to tweak something out so they wouldn't have to, be infringing on their copyrights anymore or
And then
something.
they found out that the copyrights were really, really worth it.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, let's turn it
Never mind, buy the company.
Just buy
Write
the
them a
company.
check.
So speaking of iPhones,
Yes.
why is it a big deal to have the right charger?
Well, do you want your phone to charge or you don't want it to charge?
Well, I mean, I can go
Yeah.
buy a $299 charger off the
Yes.
shelf.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you
And
can.
then you can go buy a new phone, maybe.
Yeah.
Because the power variability and reliability and all of those elements that go into it, it's really better to buy better equipment. However, I just found out that even from reading that article, even my iPhone 11 will take up to a 20
What?
a 20 watt charge. And I'm like, oh my God, when you
Is it
plug in
watt or
one of the
milliamp?
old little squares that are running like 1.1,
Yeah. Well,
20 watts? That's a lot.
20 watts, yeah.
What is it, like 5 amps or something like that? Something like that.
Yeah. But I mean, when you plug in one of those little ones, okay, and it just like, it takes hours to charge up the phone.
Right.
And you can forget about the iPad.
Okay, so the
They
new.
won't even charge them.
On some of those chargers too, like those chargers that you get really cheap on Amazon or
Yeah.
something. All right. So you remember back a while back that people were getting electrocuted
Yes.
with their phones and
Yes.
stuff.
Or the
Okay.
cables were catching on fire.
What's happening is what people don't understand is that charger is really an inverter. It takes the 120,
Right.
and transforms it to DC voltage and then sends it out. Well, the thing is a lot of those devices, those chargers, they had a I talk with my hands. They have a isolator between
A regulator.
Well, they have.
Well, no.
Is it a voltage regulator or is it an
No, no,
ice-
no.
There's a regular,
No,
but
this
there's isolation between the two circuits.
Ah.
Right.
Okay, and what was happening is that isolation was not, strong enough, not a good. It was a really good conductor.
Right,
and It
right.
was causing the 120 to
Good
transfer straight through.
Right.
And that's where you had those people that were, having their phones
Yeah.
in their beds and charging, and then get electrocuted and died.
Yeah.
Because that's what was happening.
Yeah, the nightstand catches on fire.
Yeah, the voltage
Yeah.
the voltage was leaking, from the AC side through the DC
Which
side,
will
and
just
shorting
blow up your phone.
We're blowing up phones, and that's what was
Yeah.
happening.
Well, I know there's a thing where you're not supposed to use other people's cords.
Other brands cords?
Yeah, other brands cords. Like, if you can go buy
As
a
long
cheap.
as it's a reputable brand, you're okay. So if you find an RCA, you're going to be okay with an RCA
or go to
cord.
Apple's website, and any third party that they put on there, which is usually Belkin, is okay.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah,
'Cause
certain-
isn't there that sits right here in the phone, that little module. There's a regular module that turns when the phone's charged, it turns it off.
well,
Yes.
yeah, not just
Yeah,
that,
there
but
is.
there's also it
It'll also modulate the
the
power.
And it also tells
Yeah.
the phone whether or not the
So-
charger is legit.
Yeah. And one of the things I first discovered was when you're using the illegit cords,
Too legit.
they'll only illegit
Too
to quit,
legit to
which
quit.
is exactly what happens. It'll only work one way. If you turn it the upside down, it doesn't
So
work.
you-
so you got to turn it back the other way.
You turned me on to these little
Oh, I
magnetic.
love those damn things.
And they won't work in this for some reason.
Oh, because the cases.
Well, it's because this is a dual battery.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the dual batteries I can't use my headphones either.
No.
Nor can I use my input that we do to mobile
Yeah.
film. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to
your
the
case
12.
is now, what have you got on the case there? USB?
This is a Lightning. That's Apple Lightning port.
Oh, okay.
Like it's supposed to be.
Right, but-
I can
but look at the way
charge.
it's- yeah.
Right, I can charge, but the minute I put the magnetic one in there, charge, it's like it goes unrecognizable. So I have to take it out.
Wow.
So I'm
Yeah.
looking. And then why did they jump? Why did Apple go to a Lightning port / USB-C cable?
Because it's for the fast chargers, and the problem is the USB-A couldn't handle the wattage coming in. USB-C can handle the increase in wattage that new charger puts out. Not because of any kind of for connection purposes. They did it for the power requirements needed to boost the phone up.
Okay.
See, their connector, their Lightning cord could handle it. But the problem is the other end, the USB-A could not handle that power going through the device.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was
Because
too much.
I'm looking at going, oh my God! Now all these, because we have a bunch of little USB power strips that we take with us when
Yeah.
we go to the home shows and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
everybody gets to plug into.
Yeah.
That's become useless.
Yeah.
Because now so that means I've got to go find some power strip that's got USB and USB-Cs,
Yeah. C'est la vie. Or in this case,
which
c'est la
Belkin
vie.
makes.
Of course.
I saw one this weekend. I was,
Yeah.
in the RV. I was like, we're plugs. We're trying to figure.
The real question is, how much stock does Apple have in Belkin?
Do they own Belkin?
I don't.
I bet
believe
if you
so,
go
but I
there,
bet you
they own
they're
some of it.
somewhere.
I bet you anything.
they
you go
got a decent arrangement
look.
going on there.
Because if you go to their
Yeah.
website and you look up their,
Yeah.
any kind of accessories and stuff, you always see Belkin as
Yeah.
one of the number
Oh,
one,
absolutely.
at least
Yeah.
for their small cables
Yeah.
and stuff like
it's,
that.
It's a close relationship. It's like, Biden and China. It's like, there's
Laptop,
Laptop.
laptop, Junior, Biden. Anyway, so we're going to talk about what you sent in.
I sent something in?
You did.
I did send something in.
And I'm actually interested in hearing this because
Yes.
where you sent us was 7 content calendars examples from awesome brands to inspire your own.
Right.
So having a content, tell people at home what a content calendar
let's step
is.
back and figure out what is
Right.
a content calendar. And okay, so from back in the old days, we used to have advertising schedules.
Yes.
Okay, where we were watching, which commercials were being released, which newspaper ads were going along with them, all those kinds of things.
They called those traffic forms.
Traffic forms when you're inside the station itself.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you are an advertiser, okay, you had your advertising calendar, your marketing calendar. And now what we've done is we have sort of taken that into the social media world, whereby here's the thing. A lot of small business owners use social media for themselves. Okay, they go straight to Facebook, and they get on there and they go, oh, I think I'm going to put this, I think I'm going to share this, I think I'm going to type this, I'm inspired to write this. Excuse me. That is how people think about going to social media. They aren't thinking of it as an actual advertising platform, just like a TV station. I mean, you wouldn't walk into a TV station and go, hi guys, I want to make a commercial today. And I don't know, what do we got laying around here? Oh, this looks cool. Let's make it about this today. Nobody does that. Okay, you walk in with an idea. And with social media, how you orchestrate that over time requires your content calendar. And I suggest doing things a little bit differently from how a lot of the places out there online will tell you. What they'll generally start with is a template, which is a month. And they'll go, okay, fill it. And you put, your different media outlets. You've got your Instagram, you've got your Facebook, you've got your, LinkedIn, whatever it is you're using. You put that out there, and then you go through and you fill in each day what you're going to put in for each one. And oh my God, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, if you are a business owner, you're looking at that and you just go, forget it. I'm just going to go back to doing it, my half-baked, sort of comfy, cozy, whatever it is I feel like posting today routine. That's not appropriate either, because as I've said before, and I'll say it again, one of the most important things you can do with your social media is be reliable. People need to know when you're going to be there and what you're going to do. So you figure out what your key reliability points are, all right? And you're going to stick with those. But if you want to get really started, start with your key reliability points. I know I want to put one post out a week that talks about a customer question. And I want to do that Tuesday mornings, okay, at 7:35 a.m.
Right.
So I'm going to create 4 posts, and your calendar is going to have 4 items on it each Tuesday, and that's it. So stop looking at it like a whole month and look at it from your needs instead, because it's your needs that need to drive the content. Then you say, okay, do we have any special events or special anything coming up with my business this month? And you may say, oh my God, it's November, Black Friday's coming up. So let's look now. Now we know Black Friday's coming up. Let's not then start to go, oh my God, I now have 21 days of stuff. No, stop. Turn around and say, what are my assets that I have?
Right.
What do I have for artwork? What do I have for items that are going on sale? Give me my stuff that I need to put out there. And then I can say, okay, well, I've got 9 things here. I've got, 6 items and 3 great photos that I want to use. So let me now put them on my calendar where I want them to go, not sit here and try and dream up what I'm going to do. And by reversing that process and say, oh, okay, that's just one event this month. Now you may also have a store closing, for a Sunday. So on Saturday, you're going to have a special 20% off sale because you're going to be closed on Sunday. So you want to drive everybody in on Saturday so you don't lose revenue for the week. So what are you going to do? That you're now going to add in to your account. Take the real world and apply it to your content planning. Don't try to do it the other way around, because that's not your job. Your job is to run your store. Your job is to run your business. And so use your business as the driver for your content calendar. Rather than going out and, we've got places out there, oh, here's 7 different, this article that we had up, here's 7 great examples of content calendar. Yeah, those are developed by massive teams, ad agencies, marketing agencies, working together with subcontract social media people.
And what is good,
oh my God.
And what is good for some is not good
will be
for
useless
others.
for others.
Right, because
yeah.
I went down and looked at, so I'm looking at all the different, like with Red Bull itself, it's 11 to 12 blog posts per day, right?
Yeah.
7 to 8 Instagrams.
Yep.
9 to 11 times a day on their Facebook page. But then you jump down to someone like Reverb, 2 to 3 blog posts a day, yep. 5 on Facebook, 2 to 3. Then you jump down to say that ModCloth, 2 blog per week.
Yep.
right, per week, 1 to 2 Instagrams a day, and it really didn't say anything about Facebook.
Yeah. Well, they may
Because
not have anything on Facebook.
Now
And that's
Disney
just it.
Disney is cranking 5 blog.
Yeah.
This is not Facebook.
These are
it's not
actually essays
blog.
that someone is writing,
Right.
posting on the actual website.
Right.
Okay, which then you pump out to social media.
And then then Disney Parks posts once or twice a day on Facebook, and then 5 times a day during an event.
Yep.
That depends on what it's. Whole Foods is like 2 blogs per week. Instagram 1 to 2 times a day.
Yeah.
Once or twice a day on their Facebook page, and 2 or 3 times a day on Twitter.
Yeah.
So-
and we for small businesses, we look at a starter pack for you is probably 1 blog post per week.
Right.
Okay. We have our driver program that we set up for you that we automate most of it, so that you aren't sitting there like swimming back and forth trying to run over here and save this over here and do this over here. We automate it so that you get maximum output for your minimum input. And I mean, we can even run the whole thing by email if that's how you want to run it. You can email directly into your website and send the email in, and that will create the post. What you send in the email becomes your post.
Right.
So it literally is as easy as sending an email. But how you do these things is not so much about, these companies have set up this idea that, because, Facebook or whatever is only going to share a tiny percentage of your stuff out to your fan base. They're then bulking up on how much stuff that they're sharing. And so, you think that you are getting much more reach because you're sending out more stuff. The fact of the matter is, in the sites that we've designed, that's not actually the case. Mm-hmm. What we've discovered is, even though it's, let's say you have 300 followers, okay, whatever, on your page, it's the same 20 people over. And they are your most energized, engaged viewers, and so they're the ones who see it all the time.
Right.
And you may have 80% of your customer base, and it doesn't matter whether you put out 1 thing a day or 10 things a day. It's going to show to the same people who are already engaged with your page every time. The only way you can get beyond that is with advertising, and that's something else that we talk about, because that's where boosting actually does come in handy, because boosting is for blog posts.
Well, and I'm reading. I'm on the story that we were reading. So
Yeah.
Facebook, like this is what they said about the best times to post on social media. This is 20 studies they've done about this, right? Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
Nothing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Nope. Well,
on
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay.
Thursday, Friday,
Yeah,
Saturday,
it
and
used to be
Sunday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were the
Yep,
best days.
it was.
And,
Now it's
and
a change.
after 8 a.m. because you want to get people at their desks.
Best times 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m.
Yep. And,
Twitter.
And wait. Let's think about 9, 1, and 3. What happens at those 3 times during the work week?
Well, everybody
People arrive at work,
settled in.
get on their phone, and open Facebook.
Yep.
They
come back after
come back
lunch.
from lunch, get on their computers, and open Facebook.
And 3 p.m.
At 3 o'clock,
they're getting
after
ready to
your
go home.
coffee break,
They're getting
you're
ready to
gonna
go
come
home.
in,
Yep.
and you're going to sit down, and you're going to open Facebook.
And then on Twitter,
When are they going to work?
What?
right.
That is work.
And so on Twitter, the best day is, ready for this? Wednesday.
Prince Spaghetti Day.
12, 3, 5, and 6 p.m. So, again, lunchtime, getting ready to go home. Getting ready to go home, I'm home.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah.
LinkedIn, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay.
Nothing on the weekends, 7 to 8,
Yep.
12 p.m., and 5 to 6.
And all of this is subject to immense change based upon who your market is
Right.
and when they are available.
Pinterest, Saturday and Sunday,
Yeah.
2 p.m., 9 p.m., and 2 a.m.
Neat.
And then Instagram is Monday and
Yep.
Thursday, 2 a.m., 8 to 9 a.m., and 5 p.m.
And yeah, again, based on who your target
Unbelievable.
is.
Yep.
Yeah. But each of those
We'll put this-
platforms
we'll
has their
put
own
this-
demographic.
Right.
And so learning what's best for you, honestly, when you are doing a big enough ad buy, and it's not even that it's not the dollar amount per se, it is setting up a schedule for a month. you can then go in and pick exactly when your ads will run. You can block out times that they will not run so that you're not wasting money in those off-peak hours. Showing it to people that will never, ever, ever be your customer, and certainly cannot respond right now and call your shop. It's because if the purpose of your ad campaign is to have people call you, there's no point running the ad at 3 a.m.
Hey,
unless you're a taxi. But if you're a florist, okay, and you want people to call in, there is no point in running your ads off hours. So when you're running a campaign on Facebook, you can go ahead and schedule when your ads run so that you're hitting these peak times or what may be the proper peak times for you. So, and again, back to the point, the content calendar helps you decide what and when you're going to put it in, and then you use tools like this to fine tune.
Right.
But you know what? It's better to have the stuff out there regularly and reliably.
Right.
Okay? And worry about the fine tuning afterwards. Get yourself in the habit of creating this calendar once a month, once every 2 weeks, whatever it is, because you don't have to sit there and put it all out right now. Everything can be scheduled. I mean, it works the same way with the driver sites that we build as it does with Facebook. You go in, you schedule your stuff. You don't need any third party. You don't need Hootsuite. You don't need anything to get started on that stuff.
Right. Does it for you.
You can do it right there in these platforms themselves. Okay. And so this is not hard, but it is what it is. Okay.
All right. So backing up real quick, iPhone manufacturer Foxconn buys Belkin. So Belkin, Wemo, and Linksys have all been bought by Foxconn. The Taiwanese electronic maker is best known for assembling iPhones. There you go. That's why on Apple's website they said, yeah, use Belkin. Oh, and by the way, go use Linksys because they're the best routers.
Yeah, because they get a discount. You know what it is? It's affiliate marketing. They get a discount on their manufacturing for every charger
this is
that's
great.
sold.
Well, you know what? They can't get in trouble for supplying, third parties with Apple legitimate products that are built in the Foxconn factory because, now they...
Yep.
Somehow there's going to be this mass, we own everything.
We can only hope.
Yeah, right.
Because Apple is a beneficent ruler as opposed to Microsoft, which is evil.
Evil.
Well, that's just because they drop everything after it doesn't work out for them.
Right.
Instead of keep working at it, we'll just drop it.
And I meant to touch back on this because my Apple TV is ancient. I mean, I've had it for years and years.
It still works, though.
And it still works. As a matter of fact, we just went to watch something yesterday or the day before, and it's like, oh, sorry, got to run an update. Give me a minute.
Yep.
And it totally updates, and it comes back up. It's like, this is the beauty of Apple. I see these Fire Sticks, and I've got an old Hulu, and it's like, oh, I don't run that anymore. I know you're gonna go buy a new one. It's like it's been 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean.
Right.
I mean, it was just delivered yesterday. And it's time for a new one. And that old little Apple, puck is just like, yep, no problem.
Yeah,
I got
I have that original black one.
Yep, little black square one. Yep.
It works fine.
Yeah, I used to like the Windows Phone platform a long time ago. It was pretty cool, and they just walked away from it.
Went away. So I don't know if you guys read about this, but U.S. Cyber Command exposes new Russian malware.
Oh, I read about that.
Here we go again. 8 new malwares.
8 new chunks of malware.
Wonderful.
6 are based on one virus that's now mutated.
BTZ malware.
Yeah, and it's like we really, really needed this. It's like COVID goes to the internet.
Yeah.
Except instead of from
They're
China,
working on a
this one
cure.
came from Russia. Yeah, we have therapeutics. That's the good news.
But here it
They've
is.
isolated the code.
Put a mask on your computer. It'll be all right.
I'm putting one on right now. See what I did there? I'm putting one on right now.
On right now. Yeah, but
if our show goes off air, we know why.
down malware. But yeah, it's crazy that that all of a sudden now they're well, it's not because we're getting ready to jump into a whole world of crap.
Yeah,
With the
there's gonna be
election.
a lot going on.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Because this is this one. I'm gonna jump because I'm gonna jump down to the Facebook thing first,
Yeah.
and we'll come back to the other one, right? So yeah, because we're gonna come back to the website one. This one's kind of got Anthony and
Oh, it
Tailspin.
just is what it is.
I know.
Can't wait to see
So
what it
okay,
means.
so what to expect from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on Election Day and the Russian malware? So
Well,
Yeah.
they're basically just going to turn off.
Yep.
yep. Sites are key conduits for
they're gonna cover the election
communications.
the same way they've covered the Biden laptop.
So I even got a little animation
laptop?
that was on the website, the New York Times. They're all chasing their tails.
That's K9.
Yeah.
I'm totally not okay with them taking Doctor Who imagery. That's
It's
is
the
up
New York
with that?
Times. They can do whatever they want to.
Apparently,
They think.
and they don't have to do anything they don't. Want to.
Except for a report on Biden.
and anything
saying
they
that,
don't
yeah.
want to was my point.
Right. Yep. Exactly. So I think I think this is going to be a problem where they're just going to try to shut it all down.
Yeah,
The less you see, did you see what's going on in New York City and Chicago and the places like that? They're boarding up the windows.
Yep.
I just read an article on that the White House is going to be putting a barricade back around.
Because, yeah, they're afraid if Trump wins, everybody's going to go. Okay, look, and I'm not trying to be political on this, but you know what? They're not boarding them. They're not boarding the windows up because of Trump supporters.
No.
Just saying.
No. No. Honestly, if they're really afraid of Trump supporters, they need to be investing in Kevlar.
Yeah.
Okay, boarding up a window is not going to stop, a high-powered rifle, and so there's nothing there.
Nope.
And so no, this is for arson, looting, vandalism, those kinds of things. That's what they're planning for, and we're going to be looking at some pretty serious cyber attacks as well. Because look at what happened with the Wisconsin or Iowa. I think it was Iowa. No, it was Wisconsin. The RNC office there that handled all their advertising, they had their account hacked and they had $2.3 million stolen. Just going into the final week of the elections, they have no money left in their budget. And so they can't run their ads. So, these are
Convenient.
these are real issues. Oh, it was obviously a hack specifically targeting,
Right.
Okay, this Republican office, and rerouting their vendor payments outside of the business. Okay, so they weren't paying their vendors. That's how they did it. They rerouted the payor bank. So they thought they were paying the invoice to the right vendor.
Right vendor.
And the money was going off to someone else. And now the vendors are going, hey, we're cutting you off because you're not paying. Like, wait a minute, we have these receipts. They're like, well, they didn't come to our bank. They'd gone in and hacked the bank account information.
That's crazy.
And so it was sending to the wrong banks. And imagine somebody doing that on a personal level to you. Okay, going in, and instead of trying to hit your bank, in which the security is super strong, what if they came into your bill pay software and just changed the bank account information to your mortgage, to your car payment, to all the biggest things you send money off to every month?
And you would
And
know
it's all going out. You wouldn't know because you're
you
doing
would
it
know
right.
for 60 to 90 days.
Well, you started getting notices in the mail going, what do you mean late fee? What are you talking about?
Or your power just goes off.
We actually had this happen last month when we got a notice of a late fee on a vehicle payment. It's like, what are you talking about? Well, they don't actually have an online payment portal, so we have to go through our bank and mail the check from the bank.
Right.
And our ever-reliable post office, which can be trusted completely with our election results as
Right.
well, had delivered the mail to the store in front of the bank, okay, that was, and just left, and then they took 10 days to bring it over. Or no, it was almost a month before they brought it over.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
by the way, we had a letter for you. And there's our check in an envelope that was sent to... So we went through all this. We stopped payment. We did all this stuff on it, And it's like, but imagine somebody just getting in there and just hacking it. And that's what happened there.
Yep.
And so you're looking at all these kinds of finagling. Now the Chinese and the Iranians, or the Russians and the Iranians, have access to our voter database. And they've shown where they can get in and they can start to mess with requesting absentee ballots. So that if you request an absentee ballot, okay, then what happens is and you've already sent one in, and you request a second one, it negates the first one.
Yes.
So they're going in and negating votes. Valid absentee ballot votes. The more, as Scotty said in Star Trek 4, the Voyage Home, the more you overcheck the plumbing, the easier it is to stop up the drain.
Yep.
And that's exactly what's happening.
Oh,
And so now we have the social media outlets who are telling us what we can and can't say
Right.
after the election. And that's going to be, what you're going to see is a mass exodus to Parler.com. You're going to see Gab.com. You're going to see Rumble for video footage, because you're still free to talk over there.
Yep.
These guys are about to obsolete themselves
Yeah.
out of the marketplace. Because if you've been watching the turnout at events, okay, for the different candidates,
Right.
it is almost a joke. You're talking 5 to 1, 10 to 1, 50 to 1, 100 to 1.
200 to 1, 1,000
Okay,
to 1.
yeah, 1,000 to 1 turnout in some of these things.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
they got to realize,
Yeah.
they're building themselves into their own little echo chamber, that they think that what they are saying is the only thing that matters. And there is another angle on that I might get into next week.
Right.
Okay, on how that's killing them, because I now have in my possession some very interesting evidence from editorial newsrooms and how they are using technology. And it is mind-shattering what this technology is being used for, and how it is not what we think is happening at all. And we're completely missing the boat on Google and what they're doing. So that may be next week. I'll let you know.
Well, speaking of Google and so Internet Archive adds fact checks to explain web page takedowns. Takedowns. So the old archives that you can
love archive.org.
You can go back and
The Wayback Machine.
Right, Wayback Machine, and you can look at what your website was back in the day. Now they're getting taken down if they were misinformation, or if they think they were misinformation sites. They just go away.
That's not. No. If it's
You
there,
think that's not cool?
That's not cool, because if it's there, it's there.
Yeah, well, no, it isn't anymore.
No.
No,
I can tell you after.
They're taking it down, or they're putting a banner up over and going, this site contains misinformation.
Or they're putting a banner on it that says, we took it down because it contained misinformation. You can't see it
Who's to
anymore.
make that judgment?
They are. Oh, no. They actually specify in the article.
Oh, yes,
It's going
they
to be
do.
the same people that are doing the fact checks on Facebook right now that are so accurate.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Factcheck.org.
Yeah.
Okay, all these same people
PolitiFact,
that are giving us
AP, and the Washington Post.
Washington Post, yeah, no bias there. Okay, Jesus. But they are looking at the exact same people doing the exact same kind of fact checks. And, okay, here we go. In 2008, there was some guy running for president out of Illinois. He'd been a senator there, like a one-term senator.
He was a libertarian?
Okay? No. Actually, he was a registered Democrat.
Okay.
But if you did some really clever searching, you could go back through and find the web page for the what was called the New Party. The New Party was the official Communist Party, or the Socialist Party, same thing. Okay, different label. It was the official Socialist Party. And they were talking about how happy they were that one of their active contributing members had now gotten in on the Democrat ticket, which was their plan. They were running their members of the Socialist Party as Democrats. Okay, and this guy was a card-carrying, happy member. His name was Barack Obama. That's what it was.
How about that?
And if you were out there, they had clips and copies of their old newsletters up online. And it was amazing. About a month later, and I'd gone through it all, and about a month later, I went to show a friend of mine. I'm like, you got to see this stuff. No, I'm serious. This guy is he's not a Democrat per se. They actually say, this is part of our plan to infiltrate the Democrat Party and politics in Illinois. So I go back and it's gone. The website's gone. Well, where was the only place you could get it? The Internet Archive.
Internet
Okay,
Archive.
yeah, the Wayback Machine. And so people did that. I didn't know about the Wayback Machine at the time. They did that, and so now other websites have copies of these pages and these documents that are now available today. But they made the website disappear. But now we're talking about making the archive make the websites disappear. This is Orwellian. It's like, I know I saw it. I know I saw it there. Where is it? Why can't I find it? And that's what I was going through at the time. And it took a couple of years for the stuff to finally show back up online again. But now they're going to wipe out the history completely.
Right.
For these things, and you will be left going, I swear I saw it.
I know it was there. I saw it there.
I
Sure you did.
didn't
I have a
think to take
screenshot of it.
cap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you
And-
must have manipulated that screenshot.
Exactly, and now we know exactly what the provenance of that screen cap was,
Ah,
because
geez.
that's what the other guys are working on.
God have mercy.
Adobe's working on that in the background, so they'll know who made a screen cap.
Right.
And they'll know to come, oh, look, we had another problem here, and, your charger blew up, and look at that. Your iCloud account was blank. Don't you? I mean, look, this is all crazy stuff. Absolutely insane. Why are we even talking about this?
Can't make this
because
crap
everything that we're saying, that we said 5 years ago,
Right.
is what we're seeing right now.
Right now.
With the suppression of the Biden laptop story. And the fact that you can get a presidential candidate stand out there and say, every major source says it's a smear campaign and it's fake and it's Russian disinformation. Nobody has said that.
Nope.
Nobody has verified any of that. And nobody's challenging his assertion on that, except for the few people who have been able to find a narrow broadcasting of this information. There are so many people out there who believe it's fake.
Right.
They completely ignore the tech experts who have validated the information. The fact that two of the recipients on the emails have said, yeah, this is legit. These are the emails I got. Look, here's my laptop. Look, here's those emails on my laptop.
Right.
How did they get into my laptop too to change them? Considering I'm sitting here with my brain telling you this is what I remember receiving. And now we're talking about the ability to go in and change what you remember receiving.
Right.
The greatest story of this was 1984. Amazon had ebook copies of 1984, and they were available, for Kindle. And you could download them and you could read the book. Well, people are reading the book, 1984, and they go to bed, and they wake up in the morning, and the book is gone. Of all the books to yank from your virtual platform.
In
They did.
84? Oh, yeah, okay, never mind.
The book, 1984.
Like, what?
Okay. The person selling that edition did not have the rights to sell that. Okay, and so they had to go back and yank it all. So people woke up in the morning and their copy of 1984 was just gone. Just erased. That was a snapshot, folks,
Of what they're
of
doing
what
now.
can happen. And if all you have to rely on is your own memory, I'm going to say this right to the camera, you don't even remember your spouse's phone number. You don't remember your kids' phone numbers. And now you're going to say, yeah, but my memory is great when it came to this article that I saw last year. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, and remember, if you can't produce it, it's fake news.
Right.
And that's, okay, soapbox gone.
All right, speaking of fake news, Iris XE Max.
That must be a fake video card.
Is that a fake video card? So 5 things you need to know about the Intel's first discrete GPU. Why are they calling it a discrete GPU?
Because in laptops, most laptops have what they call APUs, which are CPU and graphics processor together. Accelerated graphics,
accelerated processing unit.
So they
I love TLAs.
So what ends up happening is they're not quite as good as having discrete graphics. So some of the lower end laptops, they'll have like NVIDIA, or they'll have the AMD Radeon low end discrete graphics processors in them.
Yep.
So they can do a lot more video processing.
Right.
Very low end, web-based PC gaming and stuff like that. And Intel's wanting some of that market share because they have to if somebody's an OEM is going to buy a NVIDIA chip from, say, NVIDIA, and then they're going to put it into an Intel system, that's the only way they're going to have a discrete system. Well, it's going to probably end up costing them more than if they went with an AMD system who makes the graphics processor and they make the chip and buying it as a kit. So the OEMs are going to lean, when they build those low-end computing platforms for a little bit more oomph, they're going to go over to the AMD platform because, they're getting a better deal. Well, I think what's happening here is Intel's realizing that that's what's happening. They don't really have much on their, their Intel HD graphics that are built into their CPUs. There's no comparison to when you have a discrete feature. So they're trying to build their own discrete graphics cards to be able to compete on that aspect and try to gain some more market share. It's probably just, don't expect it to be your next, gaming graphics. Definitely not for that purpose. But it will give you, competitively priced laptops with discrete graphics without having to spend a lot of money. And it's probably just going to be in the same lineup as the AMD gaming laptops.
But it's not. But it's not for gamers.
It'll be. It's not technically, what we would consider a true gaming laptop. But there's always going to be the companies that repurpose it or remarket and rebrand it as a gaming laptop. So they'll probably put it down as a $599 gaming laptop.
It's like when they came out with the Centron computers, or was it not Centron, but.
As long as the game
Adams?
is, like chess or Tetris, you're going to be okay.
Well, yeah, you're going to be fine.
You're not going to play Call of Duty on this.
No, you're not. This is not at the beginning. They're just getting their feet wet. They're just playing around with it. I mean, they've already made, GPUs built on their APUs on their processors already. So they're just making a new die and calling it the discrete. And there's probably the same GPU on their processors now in a discrete form on its own separate die, and they're going to call it discrete.
Got it.
So,
all right. Do you remember Commodore 64?
I never really had one. I had an Atari.
Did you have a Commodore?
I had a 2600.
My neighbor did.
Yeah. So Raspberry Pi launches a $70 PC in a keyboard.
I don't know what good. Apple has the complete computer in the monitor. Okay, and that makes sense because you got to be able to look at it, so you need something. So why not put it in the monitor? I do not understand the rationale behind putting something in a keyboard. What are you going to look at?
Hey, Rob, bring that picture back up for me.
That's pretty snazzy because that kind of eliminates that whole. If you ever seen a Raspberry Pi, they sell the little kits, the little box. I mean, it's kind of cumbersome. You're gonna have to glue this thing to the back of your monitor or put it somewhere, and then you have to plug in the USB port to keep it going.
Yep.
It's kind of like it's so small it can be put anywhere, but it just really has no place because of just the way it is, and all the cords plugging into it. There's like no spot on the back. It's just kind of stupid, but this is a really cool idea with the keyboard. I think it's really neat.
actually like it because it's got an Ethernet port. It's got a USB.
Now, is this considered the case itself?
This is it.
That's it right there.
This is the computer.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is this where we can take the Pi out and swap it out? Or is this because...
I'd say this is probably
What if you pour liquid on your keyboard, which everybody does?
No, that never happens.
No, it happens all the time.
I've never spilled a whole cup of coffee on my keyboard. Ever.
Apple products get wine and water, and PCs get coffee and milk from kids' cereal or soda. It's hilarious. You'll see the proportions of what gets filled.
Yeah, the demographics.
I'd like to try one. I think if I can find one.
I think it's cool because by the time you get the Raspberry Pi in a case and everything, and that stupid little case, you still have to get a keyboard and stuff. Hey, you might as well get this.
How much memory does it come with?
Oh, now you're asking me.
No,
look at that, 128 meg.
Yeah.
No, get out.
4 gigs of RAM.
Okay.
Raspberry, most battery firm has ever shipped. It features a cooler version of the Raspberry Pi mini computer. shipped back in May with 4 gigs of RAM integrated compact keyboard. I don't see anything other than.
Maybe you got to use like, you know, a flash drive for your memory.
Well, probably.
Use an SD
And
card.
what you do to a
Yes.
Raspberry Pi, right? You put in a
Memory stick?
memory stick.
Yeah, well, they do their hard drive is really a flash drive.
That's a flash drive.
Little.
You can get a terabyte if you get some.
card.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. It's an
Yeah.
SD card. I was joking about that, but apparently that's a thing.
Raspberry Pi OS pre-installed. Yes.
That's awesome. Craziness. But yeah, so
cool.
anyway, I mean, if you there it is, look at there. The kit, this is the kit you're looking for. But I mean, for a quick, fast thing, okay.
You know, yeah, because if you can do that, then all you need is a monitor. And, you know, whatever you want to use. You want to use your TV, you want to use, you know, you got an old monitor laying around, bang, all you got to do is plug this thing in.
I mean, I'm not going to use it for gaming and stuff like that, but for watching
Well, you
watching
might if you're playing
Netflix.
chess or, you know. Yeah, I mean, what does it have? What can it run for software is the other question.
It's
Okay.
all Linux.
Linux system.
Yeah. Okay.
So long as you know and understand Linux, you're okay.
There's some guys that done some pretty wicked stuff with the Raspberry Pis, though. You know, but
All I know is every time you say that, you make me hungrier.
I know. Now I'm like, I want to go for breakfast.
I want some pie.
All right, everybody. Well, hey, look. I know we got slow.
Oh,
we
hey,
slowed down there
wow,
for a
where
second
the
here.
heck did
I
the
know
time
where the
go?
time goes. So if you need,
That
if
was
you,
me. I ate it.
if you got look, if you want to know about our driver system, you need to contact us, and we'll get over to
Yep.
Anthony there. He'll get you set up on that. If you need that social media help, if you need websites, if you need your computers fixed, you need to go see this young man right here. He will take
Fixed,
good care
set
of you.
Up, installed, new installs,
Done,
offices,
yeah.
homes, whatever you need.
And he'll tell you buy it or don't buy it. He told me don't buy it already.
buy it.
I already got a no buy. So hey, thanks for watching. We'll see everybody next week on the Tech Shamans. Have a good week.
see ya.
Take care, y'all.
We got the plans cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.